Good morning, everybody. Okay, this is day 2 of working on my beachgoers. So when we left off yesterday, I was working on choosing my deli sheets that I wanted to use on the background. And I didn't really work on this last night because I had to set it aside. What happens is when this completely dries, and I just glued this one down to the second canvas because I didn't know if I wanted to continue on using this or if I wanted to set aside the canvas and just start with a different one altogether. This is what I came up with. So what happens is this right here dries very dark, and it is not happy spring colors. And I want happy spring colors. I want happy sunny colors. And even though the colors work well, the color scheme works really well with the photos. And this truly is not finished yet either. So I know it seems really bright right now. I will get it toned down. You gotta trust me on this. First, I need to get the right colors in the background, and that's truly what I'm working on, is getting the right tone. So, how do I take it from this kind of blah but beautifulness to holy schmoly, that's obnoxious? With a credit card. And why do we paint with a credit card? We use a credit card because it doesn't give you an even coverage, and it brings out all that beautiful texture. And even though I don't want a lot of texture, there is definitely still some texture underneath of this due to the 2 layers. You know, the deli sheets have their automatic layer of tissue paper or deli sheets automatically give you a you can never get them all the way flat. And also your underpants, it's a very thin paper, so anytime you're using such a thin paper, it's very hard to get it down perfectly flat, nor should you ever want to get it down perfectly flat. If you want to get down perfectly flat, do not use this media. It's just that simple. It's not something that you're ever going to get a very... This is a pretty smooth texture for what I'm using. Okay, so first off, I just put down a... this is some Americana Deco Art bright yellow. And it was scary when I first put this on. I am not going to lie to you. It was frightening. I was like, oh God, what did I do? Because it does actually soak into these deli sheets, even though I have Mod Podge over the top of the deli sheet, as well as underneath of it to stick it down. It's scary. It was just scary. But now I know that I can make it into something cool. So what happens, people, this was the second color I used. What is this? Craft Smart Tangerine. And we're going to hope that this bottom, you know, this, I'm putting on a very thin layer. You have to really be careful before I add the purple and the blue, because when you mix purple and blue with orange and yellow, you get mud. So we don't want mud. Mud is never a good, happy color. Now, if you want brown, use a beautiful, deep, rich brown. And honestly, the best way to get a beautiful, deep, rich brown is by mixing those colors when you intend to do it. I'm just trying to get a little bit more of that paint off of there. Oh, I like that. Just pulling up more of that paint. Huh. Pulled up a lot of that paint, but I kind of dig what's happening. So as you can see, my underpants are completely covered. The deli sheets are almost now completely covered. I have kind of left the deli sheets on the sides, and I'm not really painting the sides, but I think I like that okay. Again, it allows people to see the layers. Okay. It's pretty dry, or I mean it's a very thin layer. It's fairly dry in my apartment this morning because I had to have the heater on. Sorry if I'm making you all sick. I'm just trying to get that to dry a little bit. Hopefully I'm not doing this too quickly. Okay. We're not gonna work it in. We're just gonna go over the top. Don't mush it in. It's working too far. Okay. Now, when I look at the other one here, because I do want these to be a somewhat matching set, because why sell one when you can sell two? It's fairly close. We're doing good. Got the same greens, got the same purples. Okay. I'm not going to do the third one, I don't think, the same way. Maybe I will. Who knows? We'll see how they end up in the end. And then this is Deco Art Metallic Peacock Pearl. Dig this color. This is really cool. And I like metallics. I like giving it an extra sheen, especially since I do like to go back and grunge things up. I like to have things shiny underneath. All right, this is a bit more paint on this because I wanted the blue to stand out. So the great thing again about using the credit card is it doesn't sit there and mix the paint all in together. See now there, I'm starting to get a little muddy. Do not touch that spot again. All right, so I have to let this dry. And I'm pretty happy with this, for this has a pretty strong ridge. I'm going to take down that ridge just a little bit because I'm going to have a photo in the center of this. Okay. I'm going to have a photo right in there. Actually, I kind of really like how that's turning out. But anyway, so let's get that to look. Sometimes you touch it and you go, oh god darn it, I should not have touched that. Why did I touch that? And then you gotta go back and change it. Because that's how art is. Go with it, folks. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Unless you really screw it up and then stop, throw it away. Or set it aside, cut it up, use it for something later. You don't have to keep on to one track. It's just the facts. So, all right, this has a lot of really beautiful, rich colors in it. Purple has kind of disappeared in this one compared to that one. But I think I like this one better than that one. All right, but these are still going to get more techniques done on top. I don't know what yet. I just keep thinking about it, and I have a feeling that a stencil with texture paste is going to happen, or something that's going to add, again, more interest. It's going to chill these things down a little bit. I might bring in a little more blue on this guy. This has a lot of orange left on it. Maybe not. I don't know. They go together enough? So far, so good. All right, folks, that's it for this morning. I will chat with you later. Have a good one. Bye. Good evening, everybody. How are you all doing tonight? I'm trying to get this glare off of the piece a little bit, but I don't know if that's gonna be able to happen. Okay. So, I have another video that I was thinking about posting because this has actually been a process. I went through underpants, through deli sheets, through painting the underpants, then putting a deli sheet on it, and it came up with something that was a little darker than I wanted, so then I painted the canvas and came up with this, which I knew was just going to be another base. And this is what I've come up with so far. And as we all know, artwork changes and you have to go with it and you have to play with it and enjoy. So these are the images that I am trying to find a home for. And I'm going to do a set of 3 here. And then this guy will go like this. But I don't want the background to be busier than the photo. I want the photo to be the main focal. So that's why I am in the process of mellowing the background out. So this has been already a 5-step process, but that's okay. That's what it is. So this is getting a more leathery texture all the time. And the way that I make this turn into this is what I'm planning to show you right now. So, okay. I know that I want sunshine in the middle. And I like working with Distress Oxide. I really love this stuff. I believe this was the first set, the January 2017 release. This is the Spiced Marmalade. So I'm still taking colors that I used in my paint, but I'm creating more of a sunburst pattern with them. Let's see. Blue. I know it's just my stack of colors that I used. A little bit of red in here. And I don't use these the proper way. You should probably be using your daubers and not contaminating your inks with the other colors, but okay, so I just kind of contaminate stuff because that's just kind of what I do. I think I want a little more pink even in there. I'm going to take it around the edges somewhat. You can tell this is a super exact science, right? Okay. And I'm still trying to keep some of that paint in from behind. So I know I had this blue on here because I love this broken china. I tried to order a second set of the, I think the June 2017 release was what I wanted. And then they ended up sending me the exact same thing. So now I have to go back and had to return those. You have to go back on Amazon and order. I find if you buy them in the set of 12 on Amazon, it actually costs $50 some instead of paying $6 per ink pad, which is outrageous. So I prefer, definitely prefer to buy them as a set. And then I have all of them, and then it makes me feel happy. Because that's kind of how I am. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I want that color too. So, as you can see, I'm being super precise about this, right? But I do know that I want kind of a purple outline here. This turned to mud. Why did it turn to mud? Because I put purple over orange. Don't do that. You get mud. It's just what happens. So this ink is still pretty wet. Distress oxide is supposed to work that when you add water to it, you can get like these water spots. It's a very cool ink. If you haven't played with Distress Oxide, absolutely do it. Invest, get some ink, and have some fun. Okay, so what I found out when I first started using these was if you put Mod Podge over the top of Distress Oxide, you get some cool stuff. Now, why am I adding brown? Well, because I just add brown. It's just what I do. I like more of a vintage look. Super shiny is not my style. So I knew that even though I was putting those bright colors underneath, oops, sorry for hitting that. Even though I was putting those bright colors underneath, I was never going to leave it be that bright, obnoxious color. This is my jar of Mod Podge. And I'm going to start here in the middle because as I do this, it does move the ink. That ink is going to blend. And I am trying to control the yellow to keep the yellow as possible. And, you know, mixing orange in with purple gives it mud, so we don't want mud. But we do like this pretty blue that's happening because that reminds us of the ocean. And these are good, happy colors. Which is what we're trying to get. Good, happy colors. So then, as I start to pull in the darker colors, then, let's see, there's actually a lot of the blue paint is under there too. So you no longer can see my deli sheets underneath of here. You no longer can see, you know, the paint technique that I did, or the underneath underpants of the dictionary pages. Sorry, my words are not coming to me very well today. But it's okay because I dig what's happening now, and what's happening now is a totally new thing. And so it's still the underneath. And don't ever get attached to anything because it just doesn't serve you well. Not when you're doing mixed media. If you're doing a fine art piece, as I've done, you know, many paintings in the past, big paintings, they get very, very frustrating because I want them to look exact. That's why I love mixed media as much as I do, because I don't have to be so exact anymore. So this is a very cool, interesting texture. Is it the same as this? No, not at all. Not at all. But kind of close. I kept the orange more intact on this one, which I like better than this one. You never know what's going to happen. But I do really love these purple outlines. Loving that. And I'm going to do the big one next. And I'll bring you back in a couple seconds. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, got the big one here. You guys can skip over this if you don't want to watch it. That's kind of how I feel about things. When it comes to YouTube, there's some things that I watch, and there's some things that I watch very closely, and then there's other things like, God, I'd love to see that again. So I'm letting you see this again. If you don't want to see it again, just fast forward. It's that easy. Okay, so this canvas has a bit more orange on it. In here. Oh, that's the original deli sheet. Wow. Okay. So this is actually going to show more. Why didn't I use that color? This is a broken china. Again, one of my favorites. I'm a blue person though. I really do love my blues. I'm gonna go around the edges, get some blue in there, blue in here, and blue here. As we can see, there is no absolute precision to this. I'm not a fan of absolute precision. Oh, that green is lovely. I have a feeling I should have that in the other ones. Why don't I have that in the other ones? All right, and then my outer rim. I do want to have the blue or the purple. And a nice, heavy, thick line of that. And the more pressure I put on, the more ink comes out. Okay, take it around over the blue here again. Trying not to get absolute coverage. Trying to get spotty coverage. Got a little mud right there. Let's get rid of that if we can a little bit. Okay. All right. I'm going to bring back a little bit more. Just green through here. A little bit more of this blue. Am I painting this canvas? Yeah, I am. I'm painting it with Distress Oxide, but I'm definitely painting this canvas. Okay, all right. I'm not going to add in the brown yet. I'm going to wait on that. All right, I'm going to start from the center. Uh-oh. Okay, start from the center. I'm kind of dry brushing the Mod Podge on. I am not doing one heavy single stroke. Why would I do that? Variety. It's for variety. I like being able to see the brush strokes. I like seeing what's going to happen with the piece. I like having the little extra texture, look of texture without having raised texture. Important distinction. Okay. There we go. Pretty purple. Such a beautiful color. See, I really don't want to cover up all that underneath stuff because that was really pretty deli sheets. The deli sheets are gone basically now, though. You can't really see them at all. I liked the paint technique. It was very bright. Very, not me. Okay, so see, third time's a charm. I'm digging this better than I liked the other two. That's what happens. You practice, and then you become much better at things. And I'm going to... The nice thing, too, about Mod Podge over the Distress Oxide... And no, I don't squirt my Distress Oxide with water and, you know, pick up bits and I should, you know, and then dry it in between. And there's cool things that you can do with Distress Oxide. I would suggest going on to actually Tim Holtz on their Ranger. I think Tim Holtz has his own YouTube channel, and he does go through how to use all of his products, and they are excellent tutorials. I just started using mixed media. I was a fine artist and a jewelry maker. So for me, this has just been a blast. I love how that looks now. And now I don't want to put that picture all over the top of that because that's the the texture and the intricacy that's in the middle of this is so cool. Good God. Well, that's when you know you have a good background, is when you don't want to cover it up, but you know you're going to cover it up anyway, and it kind of makes you sad. Third time's a charm, though. But they are definitely very cohesive. 3 canvases that for sure do go together. Huh. Cool stuff. Okay, guys. I'm going to figure out what to do next, and then I'll come back and talk to you some more. All right. See ya. Bye. Okay, so my next choice that I decided to do was to give it a stronger light source behind the photos. And by doing that, I just, this is some of the Bright Yellow by Deco Art again. And this is a very, very dry brush. See how dry that is? This is making very dry brush strokes. I do not want to add a lot of water to it. This is still sticky, but it's adding more texture by paint, which I like. You will see the brush strokes underneath of this. I dig it. I dig what's happening. I had no idea this is what was going to happen, but I love it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to pull over the last one real quick. And even though I love this, we are going to still give it more light. More of a light source in here. And here. And actually we are going to bring a little bit more onto each side. And I generally would not be this generous with yellow. Not a yellow fan. The reason why I am is because this is a beach scene and I want these people to feel like they are in a very happy, sunny place. And again, very, very dry brush. So I'm not grinding that in. I'm lightly tapping. You hear that sound? That is not a heavy mix. That's a light mix. Okay, so when we compare it with this, it has more orange in it still. What is this one doing? They're getting there. I think I want more yellow on this one. I don't know if you can see that. Where are you at in the camera? Oh, you can see it. Okay, good. Okay, we're going to put just a touch more. And it's turning a spring green as much as it is yellow. So I'm good with that. That's a color. Good, happy summer color. I'm going to sell these at summer shows. And I do plenty of dark stuff. So this is a good switch. Good variety. Okay. Interesting. I think I'm almost ready to put the images down. I want to definitely clean out that brush though. That has too much of the Distress Oxide in it and the paint in it. Gosh, I'm sorry, I keep knocking the tripod. I'm gonna have to fix that, put that in a different place. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do this facing me, putting this photo on here. then my question is do I want it straight on? I don't think I want it smack dab in the middle. I think I like this side better. I like that top, I like that bottom. So this is very sticky under here. And I want this photo to sit down as tightly as I can. And yeah, you have to line it up and you have to take your time. This is important. This is the most important step, right? No, it's not the most important step. But if you get the picture on there wrong, then you got to find a different picture to put over the top of it. Okay, so watch that. Where's my squeegee? Squeegee from, make sure you don't have anything on your squeegee. From the center out. And we're trying to push all that Mod Podge that's extra out from underneath. And as soon as that gets pushed out all the way, you're going to have a big fat chunk of Mod Podge under there. And I'm still trying to make sure that my girls are down. Okay, so you just do one drag. Oh, look what happened there. Pick up all that cool paint. Things you learn. Okay. Make sure that's cleaned off. Now, there's a possibility that I'll go over the top of this photo with more technique. There's a very good possibility of that because I'm never really ever done until I'd want to buy it. So I'm gonna have to go back and fix that yellow right there because I pulled off too much paint. Ugh, this rag is all messy. And oh, okay, got it. What? Too much paint, very dry brush. Pull off some of that. Okay, we're just trying to make it sunshine, bright sunshine. You want? Good, I hope I got that on good. Okay, so now I can start purposely bringing in some brush mark edges because you don't want it just sitting on top. And to find out how you're going to make it work, that is the question. It's not too bad for eyeballing it. Oh, but look at this big wrinkle I have right there. Large wrinkle right here. Oh, plopped it out. And can it become part of the sun? Yes. Okay. So you got a wrinkle. trying to avoid wrinkles, but you got one, so you live with it. So I like my distressed inks also, and I will be pushing those into this. I know that for a fact because that's just how that's part of my layers. So set that aside. This is the next driest one. I just want to make sure this is side. I think I want it like that because this red is offset by this over here where there is less red up on this side. So I like that. I'm going to turn it towards me again. I've got goop on my sheet that is making a mess. Goop on my goop. Okay, I'm turning this t-shirt inside out. Hopefully that does the trick. Get me rid of some of that goopity goop. Quit getting all over the place. Okay. Now, where do I want these guys? I want them to sit higher because I think with them, as with this one, I'm going to put, I have these blue dots with blue foil. I have a blue foil, a hot pink foil, and kind of a bronzy looking foil. So, oh, come on, no goobers. Sorry, gotta take out the goobers. So I'll put some dots down. Dots, the first time I did it, didn't come out very well because I have big dots. It just didn't look very good. Okay, so just trying to get a clean background here. And line it up as straight as I can. Checking to see if my edges are straight-ish. You know, and then you just hope that the picture that you cut it out straight. But I did go and get a guillotine cutter, a large one, so then I could make sure that my pictures were cut out square. Makes a difference, you know. It's the little tools. Yeah, it was $30. It was $30 for a guillotine cutter. Pretty worthy investment to make sure that your pictures are a perfect square. If you want them to be a perfect square. If you don't want them to be a perfect square, tear them out, because when you tear out pictures, they look really great. These particular pictures, I wanted to have straight. Pretty cool. Okay, third one. What are we doing here with these guys? Are we doing them like this? Or are we going to do them like this? Oh, we're going to do them like this for sure. Okay, so I want that to mimic this. So I'm going to do this real quick, guys. Sorry. We're going 2 inches down, 1.5 inches down, centered. The pictures are not the exact same size, so it just doesn't really matter. Okay, this is a lot of glue on here. Hopefully this gives us actually some movement time, which is good. Be able to move the piece around. But I'm going to stand up here and do this carefully-ish. And eyeballing.
Trying to make sure that my sides are good, that my bottom is good. Look at that color is that exact color. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, so dry. And take it from the center and push it out. See, always wipe off the goop. Now I'm not pushing down super hard. I'm pushing down hard enough. How do you know? I don't know. It's a feeling, you know, it's just a feeling. Okay, so we got some major goop here. So let's make that work to our benefit. We caught it while we can. Still work with it. That's good. All right. I actually like that. Let's see if we can't do that more over here. Nope, that one already dried. Oh. Okay. Okay. Clean off this because that goop will stick. This makes it harder to clean it up later. Okay, so these guys are offset here. I should have pushed them up a little bit higher. Oh well, too late now. Can't reposition it now. I wonder if I can get this out here just a little bit more. Since this is canvas, there is a possibility that I might be able to go behind and tighten up the canvas a little bit more too. It's not too bad. There's a wrinkle underneath of it. That's why it's doing it. Okay, here, I'm sorry. I'm selfishly looking at them and not sharing them with you. Ta-da! Okay, so these still are not even close to being done in my book. They have a stabiloing, they have a darkening. There's going to still be more steps, but I have to let them dry. So I will come back and talk to you soon. All right, bye. Hi, everybody. Okay, so everything's dry, and I actually started playing with my washi tape. However you say it, washi. And do I love this? I don't know. I think it's coming along. I'm not a stripes person. I'm not a purple person. I'm not a color person. So, you know, these, I think they're coming along well, though. I think they're interesting and fun. And I was looking for those two words. Fun and interesting and playful and enjoyable and something that makes you smile. I think I'm getting there. I think I'm getting to something that makes you smile. That's a good thing for me. I like that. Okay, so the only thing I don't like about this tape is that it has such a plastic feel and texture, and it kind of glares out to me as being this fake thing. That really goes very blue, doesn't it? Okay. Well, since I did it on one, gotta do it on all. Okay. And this is what I mean by I grunge things. I very rarely
let things, well, okay, so if I just take that exact blue, I did down there, that was a great fingerprint. Let's see, that's a good fingerprint. So yes, I am now working on making the washi tape look not so plastic. I still want the gold to shine through because I want to give it that luminosity to catch the light. So see, everything still changes. It's never done until it's done. Oh, hey, I like that. Okay. So what I feel like I am doing right now is I'm building up the ocean around the girls, around the photos. Okay. And should I be working on 3 at once? I don't know. If you're not interested in watching it, don't watch it. You know, I know that it takes time and that you're like, oh, this is boring. We'll just put it on double speed. You know, we all have short-term attention spans. I'm the same way. Okay, so I'm just bringing my color in. And still, definitely going to be covering more of this tape up. Where's my lid? It's broken china. The fossilized amber. Again, this stuff, I love Distress Oxide. It's cool stuff. It just doesn't have to be one single thing. It could be why am I painting with my hand? Well, why not? Why not? I like it. And it lets me put the paint exactly where I want it. Now, part of me just wants to take this whole ink pad and just run it all the way along this strip. You know, there's a good chance that's still going to happen. Okay. And then yellow on this guy. And I do want yellow along the bottom here of this photo. So just bear with me here while I decide what my third color is going to be. I think I'm going to put some of this green on. Oh yeah. I really don't want it on her face though. But I am bringing the photo more in with the background. I'm getting rid of the brashness, plastic feel of the washi tape. Well, plus this will also ensure that that tape sticks down once I put the Mod Podge over it. Okay. So yeah, I'm still continuing to frame the photo, still trying to bring brightness to it. And this guy. Now, I liked the stripes, and I would never have had the patience to paint in the stripes. I like the gold that the tape has, so there's aspects of it that I like, which is why I'm taking the time to keep it and make it be what I want it to be. Not what it is, but what I want it to be. Or try. I'm going to try. Because if this doesn't work, oh well, it doesn't work. Just got to try. Okay. Here we go. Very dry brush on the Distress Oxides. Once again. And trying to make sure that I get as much under that tape as possible. Put my fingers in it. Let's get this guy out of the way. And make sure everybody's stuck down well. And also making the Distress Oxide kind of that leathery feel. When you put that Mod Podge over Distress Oxide, you get this fabulous texture. Okay. So I know I took everything kind of back down to the tone that I wanted it to be. You know. And as we also know, I don't know what my next thought is going to be on this. So I have no idea what the finished product's going to look like. But I just keep adding until I'm happy with it. Okay, now we're actually gonna pull a couple little parts of that out because I do want, you know, I put that in there so that I have that color in there. Picking up hints. Oh, look how pretty that red is under there. That's what I want. I'll get that red. And I'll do the same over here. Well, this one hasn't been done yet. Make it be what I want it to be, not what it thinks it has to be. And I want to push a little more glue down into here. That's to lay as flat as I can. Painting with your fingers is fun. Never be afraid to get your fingers in there. I just got a manicure today. Manicures last 2 seconds with me anymore. So he's like, do you want a pretty color on your fingers? I'm like, no. That's silly. I don't want any color on there because it's just going to look like horrible in 5 minutes once I get home. So why get a manicure? Well, because my hands need it. With all this artwork, they get dry because you wash them a lot. And it just happens So I will eventually end up addressing these backs a little bit too, but I do not want that tape to go anywhere. Once I decide that it's on and that it's staying, it needs to stay. I don't want somebody to have one of my pictures and put it in a room with the sunlight hits it and then have the tape curl up. That would stink. Most likely we'll have another layer of something on top of the tape. Okay, how does that look now, guys? Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Okay. 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 So how wet are we? We're drying quickly. Okay, good. Put the lid on the Mod Podge. Mod Podge. Ah. Now here's a couple interesting things that I have. Texture paste. Gold Crackle texture paste, which is really pretty. And I do want to put the texture paste down after I put this, because I want to make sure that I'm looking at my stencils. Oh. Ideas are popping into my brain. They do this. I'm looking for this stencil rocks, and it works. It would well. It's kind of a deco feel to it, and this one has a very nice pattern to it also, as does this one. Okay, so we could do 3 very easily with those. Okay, I like those choices. My stencil box. Dun, dun, dun. What is she going to do next? What is she going to do next? She's crazy. Sorry, I'm a little crazy. If you haven't noticed, I will admit it, because it's much easier to admit it than have somebody call you it at a later time. Oh no, I'm not crazy. Yeah. There you are. You're sitting here talking to yourself. Okay, so I've heard that these distress crayons are a lot like gelatos. Do I dare try it? I like gelatos a lot easier. I think these are water soluble though, at least initially. So let's see what we can do here. What do I want to do? I want to add a little pattern. But just a little. And I saw another lady. Oh gosh, I can't. I like her stuff a lot, though. I really enjoy watching her. I'll have to get her name for you. But she does this a lot with her stencils, which is uses her gelatos with them, or her other distress crayons. And what am I doing here? I'm just trying to get a little extra texture, a little extra something, you know. I think I will pull out the gelatos, so I feel more comfortable with them. Are my gelatos out here? Are they still in the case? I'm not going to pull this up yet. I'm highly curious to see what it's done. The reason why I'm not going to pull it up is because I want to go back with some white gelato and some blue and orange and this and this and this and this. Okay, I'm just bringing them all out. 12 set of gelatos. Now, Lori Marie, who I worked with last month or two, and I watch all of her videos as soon as they come out. She introduced me to gelatos. She has some great tutorials online. You should always watch her, like and subscribe. She's doing fabulous. She makes great stuff, and she's a great teacher. Lori Marie Jenkins. Very awesome person. Okay, let's see what we got here. That's scary. I know it's scary. And then the question is going to be, how am I going to set this gelato? Because gelato is a water-soluble crayon. How am I going to set this? I'm probably going to have to go over with another layer of Mod Podge or varnish. Varnish works too, huh? Oh, I'm scared. I hope I didn't screw something up. Oh no. That didn't screw anything up. It gave a very, very light texture. So I don't even know if you guys can see that texture in there. But it did. It gave just these little funky spots. I like little funky spots. Okay. I want more little funky spots now, because those were awesome. Over here. Because that washi tape bugs me. I like it, but it bugs me. I feel like I need the color and the texture, but there's things that it's just so plastic looking to me. Get my fingers out of the way there. I'm not a fan of plastic. I want things that look like leather and suede. Beautiful papers, not plastic. Unless it's supposed to look like plastic. Then it can look like plastic. Mumbling to myself again. Did I start out? Where's the yellow guy? Let's do this guy. Oh no. Okay, good. Like, how can I be through that already? This step takes longer. I won't lie to you. I'm not looking forward to doing this to the two other ones. Where's my white one? But if it makes it look good, then it was worth it, right? We always hope it's going to be worth it in the end, or we wouldn't do it. True of anything, huh? Why do it if you don't think it's going to be worth it? Okay, this is going to be interesting. I'm not going to lie to you. Going over this washi tape. It's going to be interesting. Did I get every place? I dig it. It's different, but that's what I'm going for. I'm going for different. That's kind of super cool. I like it. Okay. So I am going to do some of this too. Down in this bottom corner. Just like that. Okay. So this is Gold Crackle textured paste. Take a palette knife. Any palette knife will do. I have other ones that I prefer. I have some that I prefer more than others. And I don't know how this one's going to work. So what I want to do is, do I want to do more? Do I want to do that much? I think I do. And I'm not going to take it all the way to the edges on any of them. Take that paint off of there. Here it goes, folks. Feels pretty runny. Dang it. Hope the consistency isn't too runny. I don't want to get it on there super thick either. And since it's canvas, it does push in a bit. Okay. We got a mess happening here. Okay. Do I know what I'm doing? Not really. We are playing together. I like it. Okay, so this needs to be cleaned up before I plop it down on another thing. But I also want to fix my edges here. don't like that, being that super hard edge. I want it to be a happy edge. We want this also to be a happy edge. It's interesting. Yeah, it's super runny. I guess I should have stirred it. Look at it's blobbing together. I could scrape it off. Try again. Yeah, that's a thicker consistency. Okay. So, what did I just learn? I just learned that if you don't stir your texture paste before you use it, it's very runny. And runny texture paste doesn't work with stencils. It makes blobs. All right, so we make mistakes. Start over. Ooh, look at that coolness. This poor canvas has been through the ringer. Look at that coolness. I don't know why I did it. I don't know why. Don't ask me. Oh, it got wet. So the parts that did get wet were so that's where the original color's at. That's what happened. That's where the original color is. Okay. Second try. I'll line this up a little bit differently. Second try. Stirred up. Thicker. Okay, let's try a different palette knife. Maybe this one's too flexible. Maybe... No. So you're watching this with me, folks. I swear, every bit of clothing I have has paint or something on it. Did not mean to get it on my NorCal sweatshirt, though. Got this sweatshirt a couple years ago when I was waiting in the airport for a plane to take off. I was going home for Christmas and realized I needed one more warm piece of clothing. Because I was going to Wyoming. Home is Wyoming. I'm in Concord. There's a very big difference in temperature there. I don't have a sweatshirt. I should buy a sweatshirt. And so I did. Okay. Second try. Doesn't work. try it again. It's not ruined. Nothing's ruined. Okay. Much better. Much, much, much better. Do I like that okay like that? I might like that okay like that. This will add a gold shimmer to everything. I'm going to have to go back and color the gold. I'm okay with that. I don't mind. I just keep adding more and more paint. Okay. Well, guys, I've got to get the other two canvases caught up to this one. I like what's happening here. I like how I have mimicked those. I have some larger ones there. You can't really see them very well, but I know they're there. Got the texture crackle paste on here. It dries very cool. And I'll bring you back tomorrow after I have all the prep work done on all three of these, and then we'll see what else we can do with it to make it super cool. All right, everybody, you have a great night. God, I think I might bring that texture into here. I kind of like it just like that. Sorry, I'm working my way, not showing you. Go play. Talk to you later. Bye. Good morning, lovely people. How are you all doing today? It's Stephanie. I am an artist, Concord, California, and I have been working on these 3 pieces, and it's time for the next stage. Because, as you know, we build up layers until there's just nothing more that you can do. So, well, if you've been watching the video, I've gone through showing you everything that I've done on this. This crackle paste, which was my latest step, came out beautiful. I love the crackles. Texture is wonderful on those. Now, one thing I want you to be very careful of, when you put texture paste over washi tape, the texture paste likes to just come right on off. It doesn't like to stick down. So this actually has 2 layers of Mod Podge over the top of it, and I am going to try to see if I can't keep that texture paste down on this washi tape. Here, same thing. This is really pretty. These crackles came out wonderful. So let's bring out the crackles, because that's a fun step. I'm gonna start on this guy. This guy's been kind of my experimenter one. I'm not sure why. Okay, let's see how are our shadows doing. So this is some distressed ink vintage photo, and this vintage photo is a very good friend of mine. I really enjoy distress ink, and this is kind of where the life of this is going to really come into play here. This is where we're going to make it look very leathery, leathery-ish. And if you don't like it when you put something down, well, either put something else over the top of it, or try to wipe it off gently, or just accept it. for what it is. Not a whole lot you can do. I love... Can I just tell you that this... It's a must-have in your inventory. I'm sorry. There is no other way to put it. For me, it is a must-have in my inventory. See, now this one I still have got these cool little dotty things on. And I'm going to need to put it in the other, on the other canvases too. Ugh. Or maybe not. We'll see. So this vintage photo is almost out. Makes me very sad. But I love it so much that I will definitely consider getting another one. I will definitely be getting another one, not consider. Sorry, I have sniffles this morning, allergies. Just waking up first thing. Going, okay, now what? Now what's next? Because I don't know what's next any more than what you do. But I love that. Okay. So in my distressed ink box, I have many other happy, juicier colors. This aged mahogany. Let's see what this does. Okay. Oh, ho, ho. You see how bronze that became? It's taking down those gold tones a little bit. And this is a very light touch. Okay. Don't go super heavy on this. Just take it a little bit at a time. We're adding bits and pieces. They're not it's a super light touch. So this is where I really start to grunge things up. So there. I like that. Let me show you while I'm doing this here. It brings out the wrinkles. I like that. It's creating more border. Okay. Gorgeous. Sorry, I'm going to do it this way for just 1 second, folks, so I can see what I'm doing. Because this, as it's kind of the final touches, because now I'm realizing this is kind of the final touches here. I want to make sure that it looks exactly the way that I want it to look. As she says with a chuckle, because it's artwork. It's never going to do exactly what you want it to do, but sometimes you get lucky. So I know we took a lot of time on that background, and now I'm covering it up, but that's how come it has so much shine and shimmer behind it. Let's try some of this broken china again, a color that I've used. Let's see what it does. It's going to bring out a different tone. And I'm building layers with every single media that I put onto this. I'm building more and more layers. I am sniffling bad this morning, aren't I? Sorry. Sorry, YouTubers. I apologize. Oh, look at how beautiful that is. Oh gosh, yeah. So it's going darker than what I planned. Not unusual. It's my world. There's a lot of stuff happening back in there. Okay. This brightest bright white. Not a fan of it. And I want to make sure not to use the finger that has the dark ink over it. Oh. Here's Tattered Rose and some very light ink. It's picking up some interesting stuff here. So we're going very lightly with this. I'm just trying to knock down that bright, bright white. But it seems to be picking up. It's the texture underneath that it's picking up, actually. So I'm giving my people more of a halo effect on purpose. They are out in the sun. They are having fun with wild honey. Yes, I paint with distress ink. Absolutely I do. This is another color that I'm going to have to get a new one of. I use it quite often because I like what it does. And then I am actually going to bring in Tumbled Glass. What color are you? Are you making it brown? I want it to be blue. That's not wanting to be blue. Dusty Concord. At first I thought it said corduroy. It's early. It's early. Cut me slack. Very early when I'm working on these. I'm pushing the darkness in the edges. Pushing that darkness. My table's not loving the fact that I'm pushing that darkness, but oh well. Oh, love it. Okay, so this guy is almost done. He is 2 steps, maybe 3 steps from being done. All right, Lori Marie Jenkins introduced me to this wonderful thing called Stabilo. This is 8046 Stabilo. They're on Amazon. You can get them in boxes of 12, and they're smudgers. They I'll just show you what they do instead of try to explain what they do. So yes, we are putting a border around our photo because it blends with that background quite a bit. And I'm going to end up deciding whether I need to those little circles are a little bit Mod Podged onto there. It's okay. They actually look like part of the image except for over here. So I don't know. Maybe I will push them a little bit more in there. I don't know if it's necessary, which is why I'm considering taking them out. For my Stabilo, I like to use a blending stump with just a touch of water. Just a touch of water. It makes your blending stumps go away quickly. Okay? Just realize that. But blending stumps are cheap, and it's worth it for me to have the control that I want while I'm using it. And maybe after time, if I used it for a longer time, I would have better control over it. When I don't use the blending stump, it kind of goes all over the picture. I don't like that at all. How's it looking, guys? I can't tell. And yeah, I don't mind it being that dark. I don't mind it being that thick of a line. It's okay. Because we're going to smudge it out a little bit more. Perfect. See how beautiful that is? Okay. Super thick down here. Okay. Get going. Work with me now on the home stretch. Okay, gotta look at it. Wow. That is quite lovely. It's still not done. I hate to say this, it's still not done. We need a bit more energy, and that might just be dots or some doodles. But so this is almost there. Now we just need to finalize it, and I'm gonna have to look at it for a little while longer and see what else it needs. Just to let you know, what else have I been doing? I've been prepping canvases. Fun. What I realized with this activity was that the deli sheets aren't going to get seen, which is really sad. But after layers and layers and layers and layers of paint, the deli sheets are not going to be the focal point. So, don't fuss on the deli sheets. It's a waste of time. You know, like that. This, and this is a finished up one. So this one's definitely getting closer to this, although I have to say that all that yellow and gold that I put in here, I really do adore. This was the gold texture paste also, but it's much more grunged up. I do really like the happy colors that are behind this. This one needed darker colors, so I put in darker colors. Anyways, everybody, I'm going to catch the other two up to this, and actually I've got to go get ready for work. It's Friday. We're almost there. We're almost to the weekend. Can't wait. All right, take her easy. Bye.